Hello students, a very warm welcome to the official page of Read My Course. I'm your biology teacher Dr. Shautabdi, and today we will be starting off with a brand new topic on human physiology. We will be starting off with chapter 17 in human physiology NCERT book class 11, which is basically breathing and exchange of gases. So let's start with this new class. So this is a topic overview of the things that we are going to look into. We are going to look into the respiratory organs, then the mechanism of breathing, exchange of gases, transport system of gases, regulation of respiration from the higher centers. Then we are going to look into the disorders of the respiratory system. So in this particular class, we will be looking into an overview of the whole human respiratory system. So moving on to our first slide. The first thing that I want you to do is to have a good look at this picture. What are we noticing over here? See, we are finding that when we are seeing a human being from the side view, we are observing a thoracic cavity and an abdominal cavity. The thoracic cavity is divided from the abdominal cavity by a structure. This dome-shaped structure, which is dividing the upper thoracic cavity or the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity, is the diaphragm. Remember this. This is the first thing you need to know. The diaphragm is a muscular structure which is dividing the thoracic cavity or the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. Okay. Another thing that you need to know is what are the constituents of this thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity mainly can be divided into three parts: the two pleural cavities and one mediastinal space. Okay, so have a look at this picture over here. Yes, see, this is the right pleural cavity, the left pleural cavity. And what do they consist of? They constitute of the right lung and the left lung. So the lungs lie in the pleural cavities. The space in between is the mediastinum or the mediastinal space. What does it consist of? The mediastinal space consists of the heart, the trachea, and certain other structures. Okay, so this whole thing, the mediastinal space and the two pleural cavities, basically make up the thoracic cavity. Now these things are very important to understand in depth the further structures which are present in the thoracic cavity. That is why I am trying to just give you an overview of the thoracic structures, right? With that, we move to the next slide. What is respiration? See, respiration can be defined as the rhythmical process of breathing, in which air is drawn into the alveoli of the lungs via inhalation and subsequently expelled via exhalation. So there are big terms over here. It's not easy to understand. So I will just break down the whole thing for you in simple terms. Respiration basically is the process of breathing in and breathing out. The process of breathing in is known as inhalation or inspiration, and the process of breathing out is known as exhalation or expiration. Right? Now, what are the parts that this whole human respiratory system is consisting of? Have a look at this picture over here. See, it can be divided into the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. Okay. The upper respiratory tract starts with the nose, the nasal passages. As we take in the air through the nasal passages, it is moving from the nose to the pharynx. The pharynx is the common passage or common pathway for the passage of food as well as air. After that, it is moving to the larynx, right? This larynx is also known as the sound box. Okay. From the larynx, from below the larynx starts the lower respiratory tract, starting off with an important structure, that is the trachea or the windpipe. Okay, and we had read that the food pipe is known as the esophagus and the windpipe is known as the trachea. When we had swallowed food, what had happened was the opening of the trachea was closed by the epiglottis, so that food is not trapped in the windpipe, right? Okay, so we have the trachea. After that, we have the primary bronchus and the lungs. So this part, this trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, this part, this is known as what? This is known as the respiratory tree. What it is known as? It is known as the respiratory tree. Why it is known as tree? Because just like in we have branches of a tree spreading out in all directions, in a similar fashion, the trachea ends in bronchi, bronchioles, and finally alveolar sacs, and they spread out in the branching pattern just like the branches of a tree, from ascending diameters to smaller diameters to descending ones. Okay, so because of the similarity in structure to this to the structure of a tree, it is known as a respiratory tree. Remember this much. Okay, with that we move to the next slide. So basically the human respiratory system we have understood by now. It starts off with the nasal cavity, moving downwards we have the pharynx, we have the larynx, we have the trachea. What after that? See, the main windpipe, that is the trachea, this is the main windpipe, right? It divides at the level of the fifth rib. At the level of the fifth rib, it is dividing into two branches. See, this one and this one, right? They are the bronchus, the right and the left ones. Again, what happens is these bronchi further, see, they are undergoing a very detailed branching inside the pleural cavities, inside the lungs, right? And they are leading to the formation of, from the bronchus to the bronchioles. Okay, and ultimately they are leading to these small, you see, sac-like structures over here. These are the alveolar sacs or the alveolus or the alveoli in plural. Okay, so this whole system is the respiratory tree. We have already studied this. This structure, this dome-shaped structure, muscular structure, we have read it is the diaphragm. And this is the whole structure of the human respiratory system, starting from the nasal cavity and ending off with the alveolus or the alveolar sacs present in the lungs. Okay, with that we move to the next slide. So what are the subdivisions of the respiratory tree or the bronchial tree? See, we have seen the windpipe, the trachea. The trachea is breaking down into two structures. These are the primary bronchus, the right primary bronchus and the left primary bronchus. I will show with the help of a pen. See, these are the primary bronchus. Again, they branch to form what? Secondary bronchus. These secondary bronchus again branch to form what? The tertiary bronchi. The tertiary bronchi ultimately give rise to what? Bronchioles. Okay, and see the final end structures of these bronchioles, these sac-like structures are the alveolar sacs. Okay, so trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, bronchioles or terminal bronchioles, and ultimately terminating in what? The alveolar sacs. The alveolar sacs are actually sac-like structures in which are mainly responsible for the gaseous exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen between the bloodstream and the lungs. Okay, they are the main sites where respiration is taking place, and the rest of the part, this whole structure, the rest of the part, this is the conducting portion, that is they are conducting the air. And the main gaseous exchange is taking place where? It is taking place in the alveoli. This is the main place where respiration is taking place or gaseous exchange is taking place. Okay. So, if I want you to have a look at this picture and tell me the names of these numbered structures, I hope by now you can tell me. What is 1? 1 is the trachea. What is 2? They are the primary bronchi. What is 3? They are the secondary bronchi. What is 4? 4 is the tertiary bronchi. What is 5? 5 is the terminal bronchioles. And what is 6? Just have a look. What is 6? 6 is the alveolar ducts, and what is 7? They are the alveolar sacs, right? So this much is clear. With that, we are moving to the next slide, the thoracic cavity. We have already studied that the thoracic cavity or the thoracic chamber is consisting of important thoracic structures, for example, the two lungs, right and left, and the heart in between them, right? Now, what are their boundaries? This is an important question, may arise directly regarding the boundaries of the thoracic cavity. See, first of all, we need to learn the terms dorsal and ventral. Okay, so dorsal means what? Dorsal means the back. And what is ventral? Ventral means the front. Okay, so what we have in the front, just in front of the lungs, we have the sternum. Okay, this is the sternum. This is the sternum, right? What we have at the back? At the back, we have the vertebral column, spinal cord, right? Then what we have at the sides, we have the rib cage. So the lungs are actually enclosed in a cage-like structure mainly formed by the rib cages or the ribs at the side, in front by the sternum, and at the backs we have the vertebral column. So this is a whole caged structure inside which the lungs are present. And at the below we have this dome shaped structure, which is the diaphragm. Why I am speaking again and again of the diaphragm is because it is a very important structure which contracts and relaxes and further helps in inspiration and expiration. The process of breathing, that is inhaling air and exhaling air, can occur only because of this presence of the diaphragm. Besides other structures, diaphragm is a very important structure involved in this inhaling and exhaling of air and how it can happen. So that is why, remember, it is important that we remember the diaphragm and study it in details. Okay, with that we move to the next slide. So what are the functions of the respiratory tree? See, it has two parts we have understood. One is the conducting part and the other is the exchange part. The conducting part is from the external nostrils to the terminal bronchioles, and the exchange part is in the alveoli and their ducts. Okay. Now the conducting part, what is the main function? They are transporting the atmospheric air to the alveolus, clearing it of the foreign particles. How it is clearing the inspired air from the irritations or foreign particles, we will study in the next slide. It also not only clears the air which we are inspiring, it also humidifies the air and brings the air to body temperature. These are the three main important functions of the conducting system. What? One is it is purifying the air, other is it is humidifying the air, and the third is it is bringing that air, inspired air, to the body temperature. Okay, now coming to the exchange part, that is the alveoli and their ducts. What is happening is, it is the site where actual diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide is occurring between the blood and the atmospheric air, right? How these things are happening, we will study in next classes. For the time being, we have to remember this much. Okay. So now, as I was telling you, that the respiratory lining has some certain structures, certain specialized structures known as cilia. And what they cilia do is they beat uniformly or they move uniformly. As a result, what happens is, whatever impurities or foreign particles had been inhaled by us along with the air that we are inhaling, they are removed because of this beating of the cilia. Okay, this is mainly present from the nasal passages inwards along the conducting system, that is along the respiratory tract of the. It is also present extensively in the trachea, right? And another important thing is that mainly the cells of the respiratory tract are of what kind? See, they are ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium, known as respiratory epithelium. And what is the function of the cilia? I think from this picture you can appreciate. See, these are the cilia like structures, and these are the foreign particulate matter which is passing, and these foreign particulate matters are filtered out, right? It acts as a filter. Okay. So that brings us to the end of this session. In the next session, we will be studying about the mechanism of breathing in details. Till then, stay safe guys, take care. If you like this video, then please do like, share, subscribe and comment in the comment section below. Let us know if you are liking these classes. Let us know if you would like us to improve certain things. Let us know if you have any questions. We will be very glad to answer them for you. And stay tuned guys, and let's meet in our next class. Bye.